trying to create like a Ferrero Rocher.
I
Ooh.
seen one of those with the psilocybin in it. With the but it was by the Fiera Rocher.
Tastes good and trip balls.
Yeah, isn't that the one that you had that when we were at, where were we at? Black Entrepreneurial State Fair? A couple of them?
That's the Ferreros.
Yeah, so you're trying to make
That fuse.
Yeah, that's gonna be different. That's gonna be super different.
That's probably my biggest it's hard for me to like chew on flavor. I'm not a big fan of flavor, but
that's how I am too. I usually
So anyway,
M&M's or something like that. I like M&M's whenever I got around. Is that?
Our music. Get them some music.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you. I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you.
we'll see how I feel. Who knows? Still a month away. Good morning.
No, I wanted to get implants. I was planning on getting them done in.
Yeah, you won't give me those.
I want some veneers.
I know somebody got like they got full mouth implants down in Puerto Rico. Was it Puerto Rico? I think it was like Puerto Rico or one of them South American countries where like the doctors are like really good actually, and it was really cheap.
No, it was not Tijuana.
It was
I know quite a few people.
Peru. That's where it was.
Peru. Yeah. I've heard other stories about people going down there for stuff.
Yeah, it was in
Like
Peru.
ayahuasca treatments too. I've heard about people going down like Peru for ayahuasca treatments.
But yeah, comparable cost is like a third of what it costs in America.
It costs you that much to get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Canna-Joe Morning Show live, March 3rd.
You are correct, sir.
Yes.
3-3.
With
I'm Michael Ford.
two threes.
Two threes.
Alicia.
Damn it, damn.
Hey,
It worked.
and I'm Vardy, man. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of the Canna-Joe Morning Show.
Oh, you're not.
You're not. So you gotta do it again while you
All of
that.
we do.
I'm trying to morning, we're live. Thank you for tuning in to the Canna-Joe Morning Show. I'm Michael Ford. Today is March 3rd.
Again.
Got it. And I'm Vardy. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of the Canna-Joe Morning Show.
Live.
Bye.
No kidding.
Right. What you got for us today, Barry?
So
Good morning, Vaughn, Daniel.
good morning. Long clouds, yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is a quick little blip. Costa Rica just legalized medicinal marijuana use and hemp growing.
Hemp growing.
Is good for them. So yeah, medicinal marijuana was legalized Wednesday in Costa Rica with the president signing of a law passed a day earlier by Congress. The law also legalizes the cultivation and industrial production of hemp. Recreational marijuana use continues to be prohibited, though.
Oh, sounds like Minnesota.
Yeah. So there was hopefully it's in the right way.
Right.
I did see another article. They're talking about like cannabis needs to be legalized in the right way.
Ooh.
Okay. or up all of the corporation interests in all of the states before you actually go legal in each one of those states. That is not the right way.
Mm.
That's the fucked up way.
And it
Looks
becomes
like
a
they might
corporate
have
takeover.
recreational coming
Hell
up.
yeah.
Yeah. Seems like that's what we did here in Minnesota. Mm.
They got two
Doing it the
presidential
wrong way.
candidates that are willing to legalize recreationally. So
Two
Yes.
presidential candidates. Oh,
So there was a previous attempt that the legislation was vetoed by President Carlos Alvarado, and lawmakers made changes requested by the president, and then he signed it. So Alvarado highlighted that the new law will advance the rights of health for those who need cannabis to alleviate the effects of their illness and spur economic development in rural areas where Alvarado signed the bill in the waning days of his administration. Two presidential candidates, Jose Maria Figueres and Rodrigo Chavez, who will compete in a runoff election April 3rd, have both spoken in favor of legalizing recreational use of marijuana.
recreational.
Oh, they'll be legal then.
That's the new terminology, recreational. You know what I'm saying? It'd be irrational here. Recreational.
So yeah, the laws are similar to those that were passed in other countries in the region, including Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, Paraguay, Peru, and Uruguay. Uruguay also the use.
Nice.
Yes,
So-
ready.
Yeah, it's going everywhere except Minnesota. You know, they're all about the money. We got to make sure it's corporate cannabis here, only from the medical company that's a duopoly and it's owned by out-of-state corporations.
Yeah.
That ain't got to put in.
Like this Minnesota stuff is just, man, it's ridiculous, man. What can you do? What can we do? We can email our legislators.
Or we can
Horror stories.
figure out a way to
Tell our stories.
give a bunch of money and then bribe them like the companies are doing.
Everybody else does. Exactly.
Man, we've been trying that. We can't raise money. We put out a fundraiser and we raised $2. Like, oh, with that dollar donated.
We just need to work. Donate to bribe our legislators with a little bit more than the corporation.
You know?
Well, maybe if we take the bribe out and we say donate for a cannabis party to have fun and get
There you
smoked and
go.
get high. Oh man,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't.
I don't know,
We
man.
need to do something different, man. We need to. I don't know what it is, man. I don't think. I feel like we need to protest and not just like a handful of people, like 40 or 50 people on the steps. I think we need like hundreds of people, you know, to really protest, but we can't. I don't know what it is. You know, people are afraid of marijuana. You know, if it's the Women's March, thousands.
They're not
Black
afraid
Lives
of
Matter
it. They're not
protests.
afraid of it.
What's
That's
that?
not the reason. They're not afraid of it. They're worried about losing their cash cows. I mean, all these these Republicans that are against it they get a lot of money for donations from organizations that do not want to see legalization, like the
but-
police union.
Yeah, but see, I'm talking about the people. You know, like when we do rallies and we tell people to come out and we're going to protest, we show out in small numbers, not numbers that are going to let a legislator know, look, these people are serious. Even if, Arm's doing some weird stuff again.
That's true.
That's weird. I don't know why.
But even though we did with the legal marijuana now parties, you got hundreds and thousands of votes. But when it's time to actually stand up for that or to go to the Capitol or to do a protest, we don't get people showing up. You know what I'm saying? And it's people are, what are they, afraid of losing their job, or they're afraid of having their face or name attached to cannabis legalization? I can't figure out.
Seeing them and like,
Right.
oh, they are on drugs. No, it's not drugs.
Right.
First of all.
I can't figure out why cannabis supporters don't show up in those numbers when they're so many people that benefit and that use cannabis.
You
Like
know,
it's just
alcohol supporters would if they had a.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
They
yeah.
got pub crawls and all of that.
oh man.
Oh yeah, they
St. Patty's Day is
ridiculous.
coming, man.
Oh,
Did you
they
guys see that
exactly.
there's legislation going through now? They're trying to get support for adding regular beer to gas stations in Minnesota.
Well, they had supposedly took care of the 3-2 law.
Yeah.
There's no, I thought they took that out, and I know they've been trying to get to where like Walmart and stuff like that can have regular. Because you go to Iowa, that's like you walk into Casey's in Iowa, there's a whole
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they.
I mean, they got full liquor stores and Cub Foods.
Yeah.
Minnesota's one of the only. Somebody was just telling me too. Now I can't remember what state it was that they have the same thing.
I was in Texas and they go to the gas station.
I thought we were the last ones, but somebody said that what state they were in.
Super America out here in Bloomington still sells 3-2 beer in their gas station.
Like Walmart has it too here.
Crazy.
So anyway,
We need to start. They need to start selling 3.5 grams of weed.
there you go. All right. Yeah.
I don't think I'll buy my 3.5 grams of weed from a gas station. I would probably.
It's a good one. If you know
that radio
that
announcer asked me that when I did that interview that year. He's like, "So does this mean you'll be able to buy marijuana at every gas station in the state?" And I'm like, "No, dude, that's not." I just shook my head. Like, you know, that's a stupid question.
I seen some medical marijuana, some medical cannabis, man, and had seeds in it. Is that normal?
I'm not surprised. It's not. I mean, so from what I understand, like when I saw it, it looked like the mass-produced stuff, like that's like Colorado. When I was there, like it had like the mass-produced stuff, and that was like the stuff that was like 200 an ounce, or like 150, or not 200, 150 an ounce, 100 an ounce, or whatever. But like it's crystally, it's green, it's but it doesn't have much smell to it. And it doesn't have no taste to it. It'll get you high. I mean, it'll get you high, but it's not a pleasurable experience. Now, the fact that this has seeds in it is kind of concerning because that means either A, they are growing so much that they are not able to attend to their plants. And so either they're disturbing them too much and they're like hermaphroditing out, or they have a male in their plant, which means that probably their whole shit is pollinated.
I think it's the first thing you said. They're not tending to the plants too well.
I don't know.
They're just loving care.
Yeah, they don't know. You play music to them, you sing, or you gotta treat them like a kid, like
Whoa, that's a long ass.
Yeah, I don't even know. What's
Good
the
morning,
name of
Camille.
it?
They signed
Million. Hey, sign the black.
Yeah, sick. Cannabis. Oh shit. Cannabis is no different than any other industry. Look at media companies. Protection for small businesses must be written in the policy.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I'll stick with that black market weed because my stuff is pretty good, and it smokes good and it tastes delicious.
I was just looking at the menu for the stuff, and I'm just like, man, is they crazy?
Well, what I'm thinking is that we got to get some of that medical cannabis, and we got to get our hands on some, and we've got to pass it off to our. Yeah, we got to pass it off to our in-house sommelier who can sample the weed. Var, you gonna sommelier the weed, man, and give us some.
I can
We can sommelier the weed.
Sommelier.
It tastes rather piney.
Anyway, so let me get to it. If you want to get involved in legalization, go check out Minnesota Normal. There's a Minnesota Normal member monthly, what is that meeting called? A Minnesota Normal monthly meeting on March 19th You can come and hear what we've got going on coming up this summer, all our plans, what we're doing for 420, how you can get involved in legalization, including phone banking, text banking, canvassing, talking to friends and family with the Empowerment app. Get involved. In addition to that, we are holding. Oh, that's it. Sorry, there's not any other events this month. No, there may be one, but it's really small event. I think it's only like a hand, 25 people or something like that. It's not us hosting it, but it's a friend of us that's hosting it. But I'll get more details, and it might be sold out already. Never mind. But with that, back to you, Dave.
Sorry, you want to hit that article before I do the weather?
Oh, Alicia, don't you got an event today? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Oh,
I have an event tomorrow. It's
Yep,
on my
event.
page.
Go
Comedy.
check it out. Comedy event tomorrow, Friday.
9
Only
o'clock.
Only $10. 9 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Yep. $10
Yes,
to
yes.
get in. You better act fast. Hit Alicia up. It looks like there's only 50 seats. So you better get you a seat if you want to go check out some comedy. Anyway.
So anyway, Murray, let's see that Supreme Court story.
Yeah.
Oh, Supreme Court.
I wanted
Beats.
to hear that.
Beats.
Beats.
Ah,
All right.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about this.
Yeah, so the Supreme Court could decide whether workers' compensation can cover medical marijuana.
If you're on the medical program,
I think so.
Yeah, so the U.S. Supreme Court could be wading into marijuana laws as it signals some interest in a legal dispute around workers' compensation coverage for medical cannabis and wants one of the government's top lawyers to weigh in. The U.S. Supreme Court on February 22nd invited the Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar to file a brief in Susan K. Musta's versus Mendota Heights Dental Center to express the views of the United States. Daniel Epps, a law professor and U.S. Supreme Court specialist at Washington University in St. Louis, told MarketWatch the court typically calls for the views of the Solicitor General a number of times each term. It's not super rare for the court to CVSG, he said, but it does suggest significant interest in the case. A good number of CVSG cases are ultimately granted, though certainly not all. In November, Susan K. Musta filed a petition in November for a writ of certiorari for the U.S. Supreme Court to consider her case. When working as a dental hygienist in 2003, she suffered a back injury when she tried to catch an elderly patient who was falling, according to her petition. She began purchasing cannabis to treat chronic pain in 2019 under Minnesota's legal medical cannabis program and did not get reimbursed for it under her workers' compensation coverage for the workplace injuries. Musta and her lawyers approached the U.S. Supreme Court after Minnesota Controlled Substance Act prevented her insurers from paying for her medical cannabis. Under federal law, cannabis remains illegal Schedule I drug with no therapeutic benefits. In a separate case, the Maine Supreme Judicial Court agreed that federal law preempted any insurance payments. However, the New Hampshire Supreme Court and the New Jersey Supreme Court have reached the opposite conclusion and said insurers should pay lawyers for the case noted. This court should grant certiorari. I'm not sure how to pronounce it or what that means, but I'm gonna look that up.
Oh my gosh.
Certiorari to resolve the conflict of authority on this important and reoccurring question of federal law, said Musta's legal team of Thomas D. Motz and Sherry M. Sisk of Motz and Sisk Injury Law, with counsel of record Adam G. Unikowski of Jenner and Block LLP. More generally, courts have been bedeviled with difficult questions regarding how to apply state marijuana laws in the shadow of the federal prohibition on marijuana. As more and more states legalize and regulate marijuana and recreational marijuana, cases raising these questions will multiply. The court's guidance on this important issue is urgently needed. The respondents argued that the case was a poor vehicle for review by the U.S. Supreme Court because the former employer of the plaintiff, Mendota Heights Dental Center, is no longer in business. They also said laws around cannabis continue to change quickly, which could make any ruling irrelevant. The legal framework regarding marijuana use is currently evolving at a fast, rapid pace, which could at any moment alter or eliminate key building blocks for any decision in this matter and potentially render the decision itself moot, said respondent Jonathan Freeman of Wigan and Dana LLP, lawyer for the insurer, Hartford Casualty Insurance Co., a unit of Hartford Financial Services Group, Inc., with their stock thing.
So yeah, that's I mean, it makes sense, and I don't think it would be mute because even if they ruled on it, it would set precedents in our state. Yeah. Right, which it should be. Like I said, I mean, if you're on a legal program, that's a medicine. It's recognized by the state. So you know, so
See,
I get the federal thing too, but still,
it's crazy how you can have medical cannabis programs and it still be Schedule 1. Like,
Exactly.
how does that work? How does that work?
Judge Thomas, in the Supreme Court said the same thing, that you can't have a legal and illegal system at the same time. It's unconstitutional.
Yeah. So we have
I
medical
think it's
cannabis
Cannabis.
across the nation.
Yeah, and I think the Supreme Court eventually is going to have to weigh in on this federally because the lawmakers
It's not right.
figure it out.
Unconstitutional.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Alcohol has no medical value and it's 100% legal for 21 or older. Marijuana has proven medical value. People are getting relief. Their stories unstoppable.
improves the quality of their life.
Yeah, but they don't give a fuck about the proof. They want to do it the way that they want to do it. Like,
they can get paid.
how did they legalize alcohol? What did they do?
That's what I always wanted to know. Like, who thought of that?
Because of who I think it had a lot had to do with who it negatively impacted.
Hmm.
And,
Yeah.
It wasn't people of color.
Hmm.
And negatively, I mean, that's how NASCAR started, was prohibition.
Hmm.
Running booze. And they finally, too much bloodshed. So they finally they repealed the 18th Amendment.
So you're saying that there's not enough bloodshed?
No, you think they're
like, come on.
call it bloodshed, but incarceration can be just as bad as bloodshed, and people.
Yeah, it can. It depends on who it is. It's getting bloodshedded.
So anyway, moving on to our weather.
Today's weather is brought to you by
Windy.com. So yeah, not a bad day. Got a few flurries coming through, a little bit of raindrops here and there. Might be a little mixed, but it's going to be scattered. Temperatures are going to be up in the mid to upper 20s for most of us. Some teens up north. Pretty decent day coming on Friday, but we do have a system coming through this weekend that could produce a little bit of snow. Saturday afternoon, it's going to start out as rain, and by late Saturday afternoon, we're going to be seeing it transitioning into snow. So Saturday evening could be a little slick out there. You guys might want to take it easy on the roads because there might be some freezing rain as this temperature drops and everything transitions over into snow. It looks like we're not going to get a lot. Maybe an inch, maybe 2 in some places up north, but with the temperatures the way they are, and it's not going to stick around. It'll probably melt by the next day. In fact, Sunday we're looking at some pretty clear skies, and that sun is going to do a lot of damage to our snowpack. The cooler temperatures up north are obviously part of. They're still got a nice snowpack up there. Most of us down here have already lost it, but. So it actually, like I said, pretty nice. Once this system goes through, we're average, but don't get used to it. Mother Nature does have something in store for us on Thursday afternoon. In fact, if you want to click on about 4 p.m., you can see there around the Twin Cities that you're going to be looking at over an inch an hour for a short period of time. This one looks like the models aren't quite driving. It's a little far out yet, but they are in agreement what's going to happen, and it's just the intensity of it is what's going to question right now. But yeah, this one could possibly put down 6 inches of snow in the metro area and surrounding suburbs. So we'll keep an eye on that one later on. But as for today, decent temperatures, not too much wind. Wind is going to be calm today. Really not much of a wind chill factor at all. So yeah, just watch out Saturday evening. Otherwise, everything seems pretty good. A pretty mild day today.
Oh,
Back to you.
coughing going on over there.
Yeah, something.
You're coughing out the whole room, man. We got the dog coughing too.
That shit.
Here you go.
There we go.
Damn, bro, you just cough right in my face like that.
Yeah, you got a little something on your glasses there.
My God, damn.
Mr. Rod hit you with a shotgun.
Hey, Facebook user, thank you. Keep up the great work. Thank you. You too.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
tuning
Thank
in. We
you.
can't do this without you guys. Hopefully you guys understand how important it is for you to be involved, however you can get involved. If you're pushing keys, that's great. If you're showing up to an event, that's great. If you're contacting legislators, 2 thumbs up. Anyway, is that it?
That's it. That's it.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. Do we got some words of wisdom? Anybody?
All right.
Spit them beans.
Beats.
Beats. Beats in the streets. Hey, beats on the streets. Shit. Walked
There
up in
you
the
go.
street. Got some beats on my feet. Oh.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Drive safe out there. We're out of here.
Peace.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you. I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you.
And even right now, I'm like, just because lately I can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
And the days I just exhausted. I just want to sleep all day. And I can't do this anymore. I'm missing out on too much shit.